We've got an update on the Kirk Cousins trade front we're going to break down for you guys. But super quickly, I want to reach 35,000 subscribers before the NFL draft kicks off. We just crossed 34K. So if you haven't yet, consider subscribing down below for free daily Falcons YouTube content out there. I know. A lot of you are probably growing sick and tired of all the Kirk Cousins trade and release chatter, and you feel like it's a, dead horse we're beating here. He's not going anywhere. They paid him that $10 million roster bonus, and I'm in denial. I get it. But I saw this from Josina Anderson, and I thought it was worth sharing. So she tweeted out that the offseason carousel continues to churn. I was just told these two quarterback names came up in recent preliminary trade inquiries or internal discussions, per a league source, Kirk Cousins and Will Levis. And she added this as well, which is really important. Atlanta has been getting calls, quote, I heard talk of a third-round pick being potentially actionable. When I read that, I interpreted it as the Falcons told Josina, would you mind sharing with the rest of the world we're getting trade calls and we're looking for a third? That way it lights a little bit of a fire and a sense of urgency amongst teams still looking for a quarterback to not wait because Atlanta is already getting calls. This is a classic sales tactic where you invoke fear over time, right? You see this all the time. Buy this now, 20% off for the next 12 hours. Sale ends soon. That is what Atlanta's trying to, I think, pass off here, is you better have a sense of urgency because we're getting calls, and we're getting calls for a third-round pick. And they're hoping, because I don't really believe that, someone bites at it. Someone takes the bait. Which, if someone does, that's terrific for Atlanta. They could add a very much needed third-round draft pick, which they lost for the Matthew Judon trade. They really only got 3 picks in my mind. These 7th-rounders are worthless. They really are. A third-rounder would move mountains for Terry Fontenot. But I'm struggling to think of what teams can offer a valuable day 2 draft pick for a quarterback who ended the season as poorly as Cousins did. I mean, just look at the record, look at the touchdowns, look at the interceptions. It was awful, right? Look at his first 9 games compared to his last 5 games. Yards per game down, touchdowns, interceptions, ratings, all going in the wrong direction in a smaller sample size. So the list of suitors is starting to dry up, and Atlanta knows this. And if they are able to execute a trade, I will eat crow, and I'm going to write Terry Fontenot an apology. I think I've probably said enough negative things towards him and Raheem Morris that if they're able to find a trade partner and offset that $10 million roster bonus to the new team, I owe them an apology. I will write them a letter. I've got a good letter station at home. I'll get my seal. I stamp that bad boy. I'll do the whole thing for them because they would deserve that. And the Falcons are playing a bit of a gamble right now because I like to think that they don't actually want to keep Kirk to be the backup. But that's maybe just me still being in denial. But they are gambling on the carousel because some vacancies are filled. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks, Geno to the Raiders, Fields to the Jets, Jones to the Colts. But Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are still a free agent. And so you got 2 free agents right there for 4 vacancies. Giants, Steelers, Browns, Titans. Those are 4 starting quarterback jobs not filled. I expect the Titans to fill theirs with Cam Ward at number 1. So that leaves the Giants, Steelers, and Browns fighting over Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. And now we go full Nathan Fielder mode, the plan. The loser of the Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes comes begging to Atlanta. Let's say Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh and Russ goes to the Giants. The Titans picking number 1, they have the first say for the draft, so they can go with Cam Ward. And by all indications, that appears to be the plan because they have not kicked the tire at all on any veteran quarterbacks in free agency. So if they're going Ward, then the Browns at number 2 have to make a decision. Kenny Pickett, who they traded for, Shedeur Sanders, or another quarterback later in the draft, or Kirk Cousins. I wouldn't rule out them deciding, yeah, Cousins is probably the best option of those three. It's better than Pickett when healthy. And if they believe he's going to be healthy from the shoulder, elbow, and Achilles injury that he has sustained over like a 14-month span, but he will be pretty far removed from that come September, that's not the worst bet in the world to make. Now, I still don't buy that a team's going to give a third-rounder for Cousins. They're going to be desperate, but a third is too rich. I would lower your expectations. I think it could be something more like this. A 6th-round draft pick that's conditional that could elevate to a 5th. Maybe it's a conditional 5th that turns into a 4th, right? It would be somewhere in that neighborhood, but overall, it's going to be, in my eyes, a conditional day 3 draft pick. Whether it's a 6th, a 5th, we can split hairs later on. And in this case, the Browns, for missing out on, not that they were ever really in on Rodgers, but they are one of 2 teams for Russell Wilson. If Rodgers picks the Steelers, then the Giants come begging for Russ, and the Giants front office is desperate to win right now, and I could see Russ preferring New York over Cleveland. So if he goes to the G-Men, the Browns are left with Shedeur at number 2, which some people don't even think he's a first-round talent, but the Browns seem to like him, or Kenny Pickett, or Kirk Cousins. And in my eyes, honestly, none of those are good options. But they might feel like, hey, Kirk for a conditional day 3 pick. If we can recapture what he looked like the first 9 weeks of the season, that's going to be a steal, right? We're going to get great quarterback play for a 5th or 6th round draft pick. That'd be a good deal. So that's where I believe things currently stand right now on the Kirk Cousins front. And this is where I really go off the beaten trail, and it's just my pure opinion when I say, I still do not believe Cousins will be on the Falcons roster week 1. I feel that him asking to be on a different team and throwing Raheem Morris under the bus by airing out an injury he had that was not disclosed and put Raheem Morris in a bad light for either playing an injured quarterback when they were losing and he was not looking good, or not knowing that his quarterback was injured. That's too much toxic energy to bring back to the locker room. And I feel that they need to get a backup for Penix that wants to be a backup. And Cousins, by all indications, does not want to be a backup quarterback. So let me know if you'd like to keep Kirk as your backup. Don't get me wrong, on paper, it sounds like a great idea. Penix has injury history in college. There's no guarantee he's healthy. If he were to go down, of course, you'd feel very confident with Kirk to step in and play 3 or 4 games potentially. But that's in a vacuum. That's on paper. Monday through Saturday, I don't get the sense that Cousins is going to be the best support system for a young quarterback who needs a veteran to lean on in his early goings. So for that reason, above all, I'm out on Kirk being the Falcons' backup. Before we get on out of here, one quick note. There is an awesome sale continuing on Fanatics for this Falcons sideline gear. They don't just have this. They have some more stuff as well. But you got to go to chatsports.com/ATL sale. I put that link for you all in the comments and description of today's video. Don't push it off too much longer because I know these Fanatics sales, they can come and go at times. All right, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already. We're going to keep you guys up to speed on all things free agency, trade rumors. The draft is next month. That'll be here before you know it. So hit that sub button on your way out. Also, like the video too. And if I'm being extra needy right now, if you're still watching, drop an ATL in the comment section. That way I know who's a part of the end of the video crew.